I think in terms of what teachers were saying, they were inspired by just the opening up and the different ways they might be able to look at math. Someone commented on the balanced approach, yes. And I think not just abandoning everything that we have seen helps support students' learning. You know, to try new things. We want to try new things and, you know, that are research-based and supported by evidence. But it's that finding things that work for you and work for your students and being responsive to that. So that is something that came up for sure, is making decisions as an educator in terms of what works for me and my students. And I think that's part of what responsive and intentional pedagogy is. That we are noticing what's happening in our classroom, and if there's a need to bring the whole class together for a mini lesson around something that they all need to understand, and we need to get on the same page about it and do some of that explicit teaching, then that's how, you know, the teachers that I'm working with tend to do that. They do a little mini lesson, and then that work trickles out and ripples through the play that they engage in different ways. And then you may pull small groups together, whether it's math workshop or guided math, to focus on particular groups of students. But there have been definitely opportunities where there has been whole class instruction as needed in response to curricular expectations and what we're noticing in students. But I think it's an important difference, because traditionally mathematics has been one of those areas where it has been whole class instruction, and that's not necessarily meeting the needs of all the students in front of you, or allowing them time to seek out their own, you know, areas of interest and questions and investigate in different ways. So it's using that sort of blend and being responsive to where, you know, where students are and what you're noticing. John Hattie's research, you know, points to the importance, the role of the teacher, the educator in the room. And I think the professional knowledge of educators cannot be underestimated. And particularly in mathematics, there's a huge body of work led by Deborah Ball around pedagogical content knowledge. And it's such an important area. Like, what is the content knowledge around mathematics you need as an educator to effectively teach and assess and evaluate your students' understanding of mathematical concepts and processes. And I know in the work that we've been doing, that has definitely become an elevated part of the work. You know, teachers have realized that they need to understand the math in deeper ways and in different ways than they learn the math themselves in order to be responsive and intentional with their students. And so that's where we've invested. A lot of our professional learning time and experiences is building up teachers' understanding of content so that they can support their students in the ways that students need to be supported.